All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, and we're adjourned. All right, we'll move on to the regular meeting. And I guess I need to call us to order again.
We're on repeat.
All right, I'll call to order the regular meeting of the Board of the Batavia Public Library District for Tuesday, September 16th, 2025. Chris, would you say the pledge?
I will lead us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Chris. Mary Ann, would you call the roll?
Sure. Houston.
Here.
Ford. Here. Hubbard. Here. Larson. Here. Lowe.
Present.
Russo.
Here.
Fasano here. I'm glad nobody left.
And number 4 on our agenda, comments from the audience. Would anyone here or online like to speak to the board tonight? Hearing none, we'll move on to number 6, approval of the consent agenda. And Catherine, would you read through the list of...
I'd love to, but I just lost it.
Okay, then I'll take over for you.
I think did we approve the agenda first? For the consent agenda?
We did not, thank you. Would someone like to make a motion to...
I so moved.
A motion from Trustee Larson
Second.
and a second by Trustee Lowe. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Actually, it says roll call.
Opposed? Oh. Mary Ann, we need a roll call.
Not for the agenda.
For the agenda.
This is our third meeting. I think this, this is.
Yes, it is.
I think this is supposed to say voice.
Okay, that's
Right.
voice in
Sorry.
the
Okay,
agenda.
that's all right.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the agenda is approved. All right, number 6, approval of the consent agenda. And the items on the consent agenda are 6.1, the August 19th, 2025 regular board meeting minutes. 6.2, the treasurer's report for August 2025. Number 6.3, cash and investments for August 31st, 2025. 6.4, the check register for August 2025. 6.5, the budget report for FY26 August. 6.6, the BMO credit card activity for 8/31/2025. And 6.7, ordinance 2026-004, adopting the annual budget and appropriation of funds. Would someone like to make a motion to approve or amend the consent agenda?
I move that we adopt the consent agenda, approve the consent agenda.
Can I ask a question?
Mhm.
Is it okay if I ask for copies of the credit card receipts? Because I think that's kind of where we get in trouble.
That's in the attachment.
But
Or the
we be
statement.
able to see the receipts, that what was charged. Is that going to be inappropriate or?
Let's see. Let me open this and see what's here.
I mean, this is something new, and I just
Well,
think
we've used
somebody-
credit cards before, but now we're usually, what all you would see is the approval for the payment to BMO. But now we're itemizing and showing you how those credit cards were used, instead of you just saying, we approve
Okay, I
this check for
appreciate it.
$3,000 to BMO. Now
If I
it's
see
showing
something
you.
that I want to question, I can't see the receipts.
And just for clarification, all these things will be in a budget someplace. All the credit
These
cards,
are all-
yeah, so I mean,
It's just an easier way of purchasing them. Without having to
Absolutely,
purchase.
I understand, but I kind of think, I'm sorry.
Please.
This is just a new implementation. Going to MIMO is providing a much better back office suite to manage and get reporting. And we look to enhance that as I get time over the next 2 or 3 months and I intend to have drop-downs for the general ledger code, and then there's an associated description. As an example, 5009 next to me is youth books. So we hope in 2 or 3 months to have that included as part of this report. So you'll see what it's actually being purchased for, say, adult teen services program presentations or youth supplies or things like that. This is like the first report out of the gate. It's a start. But I thought what we had in the past where we say, oh, we're going to give BMO $12,000 or something like that, just like transparency, and I thought we should have it all listed out by department, which is by user.
And just to piggyback, you know, I appreciated that report. That was really nice to see.
Thank you. It's an interim. It's like it's taking us to a better place.
So we have a motion by trustee Hubbard, and we need a second.
Second.
A motion by trustee Hubbard and a second by trustee Fasano. Any discussion? Then we need a roll call vote.
Yes.
Ditchman.
Aye.
Ford.
Aye.
Hubbard.
Aye.
Lau.
Aye.
Larson.
Aye.
Russo.
Aye.
Fasano. Aye.
And it is approved. So moving on to number 7, new business, the library renovation project with Tiffany Nash and Dan Porty with product architect and design.
Hi, nice to see you guys again. How are you doing?
Okay, so we have a presentation of existing and new floor plans and then some renderings to give you an idea of how spaces might look after renovation. You have the existing and new plans in front of you for reference for later or now. We'll start by going through the existing plan and what the issues were. We've met several times over the last several months, and we've come to this plan that everybody's happy with, and we've also kind of gone through the images to discuss quality of space. So we're ready to show those to you now, along with a cost estimate idea.
And one of the things too that we talked a lot about before the meeting is that when you see colors on the images, again, Tiffany used a phrase that's like quality of space or kind of expectations of quality of space. The colors, especially in youth, when you see youth, we haven't chosen any paint colors, we haven't chosen any carpet. It's just really trying to let you understand kind of where we're at in terms of the visualizing the new plans.
Okay, so this is your existing plan. Coming through the front door here, we talked about replacing the vestibule sliding doors as part of this scope of work. Coming into the lobby, everybody was not happy with that you don't see materials, you don't see a person, it's kind of lobby upon lobby. And until you get, you go through this lobby, then you go through this lobby, and then you get to the materials, and that it would be better if it was kind of a more open feel. The meeting room, we talked about needing new AV, and then a new dividing wall. And then we talked about this kitchen quite a bit, and that this enclosed kitchen is not really as useful as one that's more in the space, and that could be used for teaching programs, and that this storage could get a little bit larger, and we could also have room for something else, which we'll talk about in a minute. Coming down here, this room just needs a refresh. We did talk about new carpet, new lighting, new paint throughout the entire library, as well as access to power everywhere you are, so from your table or from your chair. So coming into this room, this would be just a general refresh along with this millwork being redone, and then new furniture.
Does that include ceiling tiles?
We'll show you that. Yeah. Yeah. And then we talked about renovating all the bathrooms, staff and public. I'll go through this area first, and then we'll go over to the stack area. So coming down here, the staff doesn't really have enough space. The adult services office is over here. The staff is right here. All this staff would be better placed closer to the collection area, and these two would be better placed near each other. The circ workroom is too small. We talked about a possible sorter in the future. Also, library of things currently right here, storing all that stuff in the workroom, so people could check it out and then someone will go back and get it. So that's just getting more and more popular, so you'll need more room for that. The blue bins that you use to get materials from other libraries and send materials to other libraries, those need room. The office would be better located with the rest of the people. So this is just, it's such a long space and not really kind of the right shape or large enough for the things that you'd like to do. Again, I mentioned the adult services. The HR needs a separate office. Right here, there's kind of a draft that comes through. And then we talked about kind of the admin being more together and adult services more by the collection. Coming into here, this circ area could just be more visible when you walk in the front door, a little more friendly, just more being able to see patrons more quickly. The book sale is good, in a good location. This little corral of stuff is kind of messy. And then we did talk about a potential family restroom somewhere on this floor. Coming in, it's just a lot of book stacks. And we talked about this space is so beautiful, and that if it kind of opened up a little bit and you saw through more, cleared out the collection a little bit, maybe brought the service point up a little bit towards the front, it would show off this feature that you have in the library. We did talk about how all of the nooks are very popular seating areas for people, and that's something that you want to maintain. And this area here is a popular place for groups to meet, and as well as for people to sit and feel comfortable. And then we talked about the teen area, wanting to enclose the teens and keep the collection outside the room so that they could be a little noisier or their noise wouldn't bother other people as much. Up here, these 3 rooms are pretty successful as they are. They just need a refresh. And then the makerspace needs more room for what you want to do. And we did talk about the craft table and the makerspace, kind of those things combining into one space. Is there anything I missed on this floor? Okay. Oh, we also talked about new blinds throughout the library. Okay, coming downstairs, there's nothing that kind of screams youth as you're coming down the stairs. And this stair that kind of splays out like this has been causing people to trip, as well as just clear kind of nosings for people. So we talked about wanting to kind of fix that, make it look more youthful, move the fish tank into a different spot, and maybe clean up the stair a little bit so it's, I don't know, people kind of get a perspective problem as they're coming down. The collection is taking up the entire space. There's really not much seating at all for youth. The most popular area is here. It's very successful. That's the kids' activity area that we just want to enhance that. And then make more seating for the older kids, kind of the elementary school kids. We did notice that this whole group of book stacks is low, and it could be on the same size shelving as this, and that would help clear up some space. Also, the picture books are currently spine out, and we discussed that they should be face out, so kids who can't read yet can kind of look at the pictures easily and pick the book that they want. We talked about the computers being out on the floor and being able to use more of this space for more study rooms. There's not enough study rooms for the kids. And then possibly being able to take over some of this storage space for other things. One thing that we did also discuss is that this youth workroom, they don't have any windows currently, and it would be nice if they did. We talked about a family restroom down here, needing one, and also a nursing room. And then coming back here, there were some minor things that, other than a basic refresh of everything, the IT desk is with the server, and he's cold all the time, so. We talked about.
He's still here.
Kathy's down here, she'd be better placed upstairs. And then this tech services workroom is a thoroughfare through there to the staff lounge. There's a lot of doors in the tech services workroom to different spots. So we talked about cleaning that up and then giving an office to the tech services manager. And then just kind of cleaning up the graphic arts room. There's some things in there that aren't really used well, and so we kind of look at laying that out so it can be more efficient for people. And then one thing that you don't have is something that we call a wellness room for staff. It's just an area where someone's not feeling well or just needs quiet or even needs to make a phone call, just a room like that. So that's something that we addressed in the new plan.
There's also an area outside the youth area that's outdoor space, so it's a really beautiful kind of patio. And the current book drop-off drive is a little bit tough and it's a little bit hard to find. And it's a little bit skewed, it's kind of backwards and kind of how you would typically drive. So we did take a look at also how to kind of fix that, how to get it to be more intuitive as you come around, and then also how to create a pathway that links the stairs coming down, kind of down over here, right out and then out in the building, and then also creating a youth outdoor sort of programming area on the, I'm going to call that the, so north is this way? This way, right, north? So the west side, so against the building, we have ideas about maybe creating an outdoor programming area, and then a thoroughfare, so everybody, when they come down, they can still go across and get down the stairs and get into town, and you still keep that sort of beautiful sculpture kind of garden area on the other side. So I think engaging outdoor space has been a huge thing in the last couple of years, and so we did also look at that as part of the potential projects.
So here's the new floor plan. I think some things will become clearer to you when you see the three-dimensional images, but coming through the front door, we just looked at taking that first set of doors off the meeting room because it's not really doing much. In here, again, talked about the new AV, new dividing wall here, new lighting. And then here's how we looked at opening up the storage so it's not such an L shape, such an odd shape, and putting the kitchenette into the meeting room. And then here's where we looked at putting the family restroom. And then here is where we looked at putting the Fred's book sale in that kind of copy nook area, moving the book sale over there. We took out the set of doors here and really opened up this entry so you see right through. You see the circ desk, you see the reference desk, you see material, you see everything coming in through the front door.
You see people's faces.
Yeah.
Staff.
Part of how we did that was, it's hard to tell in this plan, but we took out one toilet in the men's and the women's and pushed that wall down so that you've kind of got that ellipse now, and it just kind of pushes down so that when you come in the door you can see this desk. The book drop would now be at the desk instead of the wall where it is now. And then workroom here is this whole thing. So there is room for a sorter here eventually if you decide to get one. Right now we're showing the blue book bins in here. We have library of things shelving, and then staff is down here along with the circ office here. Here we've put, so right now the wall comes to here. This right here is where this wall comes and then the collection starts. So we've kind of pushed all the walls out to here. So from here to here in order to get spaces for these things. Next to it, we put the makerspace along with storage for the makerspace and for adult services. They're short on storage right now. We made the adult services office a little bit bigger and moved it closer to the collection along with the head of adult here. We've got a business office, we've got HR, Kathy, and Joe.
Everything else is a department except for Kathy, whose name is on the name.
She got a name. She's never leaving. The book drop is here. We took what is now the office right here and turned it into a staff meeting room and storage. Coming through here, again, the makerspace right off the lobby. And then we put AV where it is today. We also put large print there, so it's obvious and near the front entry. And we put 2 small study rooms in those nooks on this side. We also looked at I didn't mention this before, but the 4 study rooms that are in the quiet study, the doors are in the quiet study right now, which is disruptive. So if we looked at moving the doors outside of the quiet study so it can be more quiet in there. And then just making one a little bit larger. Right now, the counter isn't the best setup, so we looked at doing a table with 2 people instead of the side-by-side counter that you have now. Coming back down here, here's the desk, and the computers are right near the desk. The local history and conference did not change. Here is fiction and nonfiction here. We would like to lower the stacks. You're not using the top shelf, so talk about lowering them down 1 so they're 6 high. Here's the teen collection here. We've still got all the like seating, kind of private seating areas that you have now down here, along with these right here, and then look at layouts for this area so you can still have discussion groups and people can have more private seating. And then we added these 3 study rooms right here, and then we took the current makerspace and made it teen along with this little extension here.
So what are the, down the bottom right corner, what are those?
Oh, you'll see. Yeah, it's
Okay.
kind of
They're
weird in
actually
the furniture
couches.
plan.
They're benches, they get really dense because
Yeah,
you're seeing all the lines.
you'll see in the 3D. Anything else that?
Is the thought process behind the study rooms by the teen area that those would be more used for teens? Or
What was the question?
No, I think it's actually all adults would be using these
Okay.
also.
Oh,
so they're just general use, okay.
Yep. And then in this image too, we actually rotated the collection. So we were looking at it both ways. The existing light works better with the collection the way it is because it's perpendicular. But we are looking at, it's a nicer view when you walk in and you see all the materials instead of seeing all the end panels. So we have it rendered one way, but again, we've looked at a million different things. So we're looking at the plans and kind of reminiscing about things that we've looked at throughout the process.
I like that you've opened up the lobby.
Yeah, and then you wait till you see the images.
See the people.
Yeah, it's really great. And there's some that, I will say the ceilings are really beautiful. There's 3 or 4 different kind of shapes as you come through, the honeycomb and then the rectangle and the square and then the vault. And we really kept those because it's a really, I think it gives to the character of your library hugely. So I think when we get to the images, you'll notice that we kept those really sacred and then kind of opened up the eye level. And so you keep the identity, but you get a much cleaner, sort of intuitive wayfinding.
I think this design also helps you see it sooner
Yeah.
and to appreciate it right as soon as
Yeah.
you walk in.
That's absolutely true.
Questions now or questions later?
Where's the jigsaw puzzle?
It'll be in the fire reading
Yeah,
room.
yeah.
We're getting a special table for it.
Will
A puzzle
there be
table.
2 or just 1?
Well, there'll be one in the quiet room, and then we have 3 going on. One in the teens, and then, so we'll probably have to figure out something maybe on the other side, around here for another.
We're going from 4 to 7 study rooms?
We're going from 4 to 9,
Oh, 9, okay. Oh, let's see the other ones.
including downstairs, I think, or is it
Oh,
all-
no,
right, so we
Yeah.
have, there's some downstairs.
Yeah, right. This is
5
the
plus,
first
we have 8 on this floor.
Well, I also,
Yeah.
I include that conference room. as a
Oh, yeah, right,
study.
9, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then 3 downstairs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, more.
Yeah,
For the
okay.
new plan, yeah.
Anyway, we're more than doubling our current study room space, which was a big goal we had.
So questions now or you want to hold them?
You can ask.
Okay, so I don't interrupt.
We only have half an hour, so you
So right now, the front doors, they're having troubles with them. Sometimes they both stick open.
Yeah.
In a situation like this, now the entire library is open to the outside. Any concerns with that?
We're replacing the doors as part of the project too. So
Yeah,
one thing
but
that we typically do is we don't go, so imagine my hands are the openings, we don't do this, we actually try to do this.
Okay.
So if this door is open, this is solid and you kind of jog to get in.
Okay.
And it's still room for strollers, it still lets people through, but in the winter, we all know our winters, it doesn't let air come hustling through there, especially if one's stuck open.
So are we going to need to make changes to the HVAC system to provide warmer air in that
We
space?
have to replace the whole HVAC system.
So part of the project, or part of the thing that we've been really tracking as, and it comes up more in cost than, because it's not so glamorous, is replacing all the building controls
Right.
and then replacing more or all of the VAV boxes in the building. So we've included that in our cost model.
Okay.
Kathy's been awesome, just keeping everything in a list that we have to pay attention to, making sure that the infrastructure and the design are going hand in hand as we move forward.
So more zones or changing the way the zones.
Actually controlling the zones.
Yeah,
Right now I think your zone control is Kathy. I think when things are, she adjusts it, no, she adjusts manually.
She does.
And it's not up in the ceiling fans. She knows the individual boxes and she's able to control them
They
individually.
all
So
fight each other, right? So you got.
no, but
Yeah.
honestly, with this type of heat and not being able to control it well enough, they do fight each other. You will
Yeah.
have issues where it's cooling and heating at the same time.
We also happens in my office.
Separate little heaters at every door too.
Yeah, yeah, and the unit heaters are for that, just to make sure we can blast that for heat, for
Right.
sure.
Okay.
But again, we've really not tried our best, we have made sure that we're paying attention to the functions of the building as much as the patron functions, for sure.
Okay. By changing the shelving space, how much are we gaining or losing in volume for number of books we can present to the public?
Well, I don't know if we have, oh, do you have?
Me to pipe in?
Yeah, sure.
There's not any amount at this, I think years ago the plan would have forced a 10% reduction. We actually don't have that in this plan. We've just used the shelving more creatively, and we also have worked to catch up on fitting our collections on the shelves, which we hadn't done for many years, and it was a hazard. So all the work we've been doing for the last year and a half is putting us in a state where we shouldn't really have to reduce the collection much.
Anymore, we did that big weed,
You get it?
which we hadn't done a big weed ever since we've
Right.
been in this building. So we did that already in preparation for the renovation and just because we needed to do a weed. So we don't anticipate having to cut it a lot more. I mean, we're gonna be doing routine, smaller weeds from now on.
Right. You're
Because we
getting
have
new
to make
material,
room
right?
for all the
So,
new materials, right?
so, okay.
And we did talk about, like, right now, your fiction stacks are pretty packed, and your nonfiction are, there's a lot empty on there. So we'll kind of write the collection in the new plan so that fiction has room to grow.
Fiction might bleed
Yeah,
over
yeah.
into the nonfiction area on the.
Sure.
on
Sure, okay. Thanks.
Good, awesome.
Kids. Okay, so we haven't done a rendering of this, we haven't done anything, but we will put something here so that as you're walking down the stairs, you know, kids are that way, here's color, here's fun, we're getting down there. Then we kind of looked at straightening out the stair and got rid of the weird stroller kind of parking nook that's there. And the elevator is more obvious now with this plan. We completely reconfigured all this. The current wall comes down here. Does that make, and then we moved it up to this column line. We put the youth workroom here along with the office, so they have the windows. We have the study rooms here, so we have 5 study rooms. Here's a craft room. The program room is still at the bottom of the stairs with a more square layout. And then this is building storage here, which connects to the youth workroom. It can connect to the program room if you'd like. And then the Friends book sale and storage could be here. So when you do have sales, people can just come down the stairs and just go right in. They don't have to come all the way over here, which would be nice.
It's a space.
It's the same.
Yeah.
Coming over here is the family restroom and that wellness room that we talked about. And then turning that office into a nursing room for the public. So this is all near the youngest kids. So we moved the desk closer to the stair. You come down the stair and you can see the desk now. We'll have new materials in front. And here is an activity area that's probably 3 to 4 times as big as what you have now. These will be the picture book browsing bins, face out. This will be all new shelving. All the nooks stay. And we'll just have some fun hands-on activities and wall activities. We got the shelving off the wall. You come down this way, and this is the older kids, and then they can have more quiet seating here
I
on the
noticed I
windows.
have a line of sight from the work.
Yep.
Yeah. Very intentional.
And all of this is the 66-inch high shelving now, so the nonfiction collection's going on the same height as the fiction. And then you'll also can come down and you'll have access to the patio right here. And then coming back here, we did put the wall here for IT. We got rid of that door into the staff lounge, so this would just be a refresh. Here's the office for tech services and rearrange their workrooms. So they have a work table and all their desks and counter space. And then the kind of marketing area has been laid out in a more efficient way. So that's the plans. Any questions on that?
Just the book elevator stays
That's
where
fixed.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't touched that.
And the art wall upstairs, is there a
Yeah.
provision for that?
Yeah, I'll show you.
Okay.
It's,
You'll see that in a minute.
it's,
Outside the bathrooms.
Is there a staff bathroom?
there are, the staff has bathrooms right there.
There already exist. Two
Now-
on each floor.
They aren't technically ADA compliant. We,
So does that mean
If
you're not
we-
touching them?
if we renovate them, we did figure out a way you can do one on each floor, ADA compliant, as long as they're unisex, and then the other one doesn't need to be. We have ways to do it. It's not, it's barely off, but,
They were ADA compliant when they were
Yeah.
built,
Yeah.
and the code has changed.
yeah.
And they've made the sink be, you can't overlap the sink and the toilet clearances anymore. So it's not like the building was built wrong, it's just that things have progressed since it was built. ADA restrooms now that are seen smaller are ginormous, they're big.
But yeah, they're there and we have a price to renovate them.
So the wellness space, is there any thought about making that available to the public in case?
I think that would kind of be the nursing.
That would
We
be
have
the
an
nursing room.
It kind of acts like that,
You would
it
allow
can do
it, okay.
both, yeah.
Okay.
The nursing room is off the public.
Okay.
And a lot of times what we see is, we'll see like a chair and then a table for maybe a 5 or 6 year old. So you could have a mom nursing with a baby and maybe, another child in there. Or sometimes we'll put some sensory stuff in there if there's just somebody needs quiet.
Seems a little
Yeah.
long,
Yeah. So it depends on how you want to use it, but that's how we've seen that one.
I've seen it just called a privacy space, you can melt down
Yeah,
or
yeah.
nurse.
Sometimes both at the same time. Depending on how young the baby is, it might be everything.
Meltdown never.
Are you guys excited, ready to see the images?
Yes.
Okay.
Will the exits on the lower floor be used for programming or only emergency exits?
Which exits?
Like the access to the courtyard?
Right now, they're just emergency,
On
right?
the first floor, it's only emergency.
Okay, that's what, yeah.
We only have the one main entrance, yeah.
And this one, we did talk about changing the door hardware so that if you do the patio, you can make it so that people can go out without setting the alarm off, or you can lock it so people can't.
Yeah, that was what it was.
But it won't be an entrance to.
Well, right, yeah, but if
Okay.
there was like a reading time out
Right.
there,
Yeah.
Right,
would they be able to go out that door?
correct, yeah.
Okay.
And it'll be a contained space so that we don't have to worry about kids running away towards Batavia. They'll be locked in with it.
Left there for the night.
This is just an overhead view of the new plan on the first floor. Okay, so we're doing before and afters.
So again, I think something that you see here is that we looked at, we talked about this a little bit in the plan, but the idea is when you walk in here, you don't see a lot of materials, you don't see people. So the views that we're going to show you guys know because it's your library, but it is nice to see kind of the difference in the contrast between what we've done in the plan and then kind of three-dimensional. So the first we see is, as we're coming in, is, if you go to the next slide, is really opening up that space.
Oh, yeah.
So what we've done is really added two things. One is color, and then one is really getting that long view, especially down to that the sort of really sort of classical piece that you guys have at the end of your adult collection.
I don't like blue.
We said in the beginning, we knew we were going to get paint colors, but we have not touched any paint. So really, honestly, a lot of the images are just you're going to see. We've made the green, we've made adult collection very green, we've made the lobby very blue. We're just assigning value to it so you understand kind of what connects and what things go with one another.
I get it, that was a deliberate.
No, I know, it's fine. And we, the first thing we get arguments about is pink color, so that's great. So we are showing sort of carpet throughout the entire space coming all the way in. That's the art wall that Tiffany was describing outside the bathrooms. It does double duty. One is hiding the bathroom doors so it's not looking as you walk past. And the other is kind of creating a space so you get to show off your beautiful art. And I think bringing it to the front is actually a lot nicer than kind of having it into the back. The desk off to the side is really beautiful because it's nice to see, again, seeing people's faces as you walk in the space. We do have some holds and a self-check to the side. The door wall made it into the image. We got it. We made it. We listened.
The tree.
The tree. And then as we move forward, we're coming into and you start to see book displayed. And then you're seeing actually the makerspace off to the right, and then the elevator off to the left.
And that's the new CERT desk.
Yeah, the new CERT desk there. So the wood, we're accenting with a little bit of the wood that you guys already have, just creating visual interest. So instead of having to have signage everywhere, you see where the wood's at, your eye kind of goes that way, that's the desk. When you walk in a little further, your eye goes to the left to the elevator, and then you see the makerspace, which is, you'll see in the next image, is all glass. But again, keeping the character, you see we kept the ceiling completely intact. It's really beautiful, the skylight's really beautiful. And then the next space has another beautiful space. So this one came up the other day when we were in a meeting, and we're all like, that's a lot of stuff. Like,
Yeah,
it feels like a lot of things happening in that little space. So this is where the,
Well, our huge light fixture.
no, this is good, this, yeah, no, that's
A
great.
lot of the
Yeah.
space, when you
Yeah.
look at it, and it's this way.
Yeah, so in the middle, we're just showing ideas of display, and we're really kind of introducing you to the library and materials, especially at this point. So we had friends off to the left. These are the stairs down to youth, and we haven't done a bunch of renderings. We know we need to make sure that the identity of youth is announced upstairs as we walk in. And then we're loving the idea of having the makerspace kind of in an all-glass enclosure, so you see activity. Makerspaces are really funny because people don't know what they always are until they see what's happening inside. So they see tools, they see projects, they see activities, they see people doing things that they typically don't do. It's exciting, they start joining up and the programs kind of work for themselves. And then again, that long view. It's such a beautiful, as Tiffany described it earlier, the high ceilings, the beautiful lighting. We are proposing to replace the lighting, something a little more efficient and a little more clean.
Yes.
But again, getting rid of a lot of the beige, if you guys don't mind, and then lightening the space up.
They weed flop between the existing and that window?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Just was looking at the columns and how that wall looks now.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's two of those pediments on each side.
Yeah,
We removed the one, which is on this side coming here,
okay,
and then we kept the other one on the back wall.
okay.
Just to open it up.
And you'll see that in another image.
Okay.
Oh, let's see, here we go.
Yeah.
So that's the one, now we're looking backwards. So now we went all the way down to the space and we're going to look backwards towards it. Adult computers, we have the collection. This is the collection flipped. So it is turned the other way. It's really, again, it's really nice just to see all the books as you're walking past. AV collection to the other side. We did change the end panels. We have the wood panels on the fiction and nonfiction, and then change the end panels on the AV to be something a little more modern, we'll say. Study rooms, you can see along the exterior wall. We worked, I think that was 2 meetings worth of time, that we rendered how the glass and the mullions looked. Currently, you have mullions that sort of match. They're kind of beige everywhere. So we looked at doing wood mullions. We looked at doing all glass. We looked at doing beige mullions. And we ended up on beige mullions to match the ones that are on the outside. It's kind of a painted wood look. But we really kept in the character of the building today. So we're not going to make them super modern, but we are kind of opening them up so they're glass so you can get the window, the sunlight from the outside of the building into the building. But we didn't want to kind of create a new language. So even as you're looking at the new study rooms that kind of march down, those used to go in, but now they're coming out. It doesn't look foreign. We've really worked really hard to make sure that we're not sort of introducing language in the building that you haven't seen before. This is a fun one.
Funny image, yeah.
This is architects being kind of pedantic, sorry. You want, yeah, go ahead.
So where your holds are now, this is the makerspace, so the glass corner coming around, and you can see from the seating area and from the lobby what's going on in the makerspace. We're just saying that this could be flexible tables, probably height adjustable. There'll be a lot of storage in there, counters for all your equipment, and a storage room. And then you can display things that people make.
And we're not marking all of the areas that you could put art around the building. You guys have a ton of art. We're just not at that level today. We haven't gotten there. You have the 3 stained glass windows. We know we need to have those in the project. We currently aren't showing those. There's just things that we haven't gotten to that we want to let you know that we haven't forgotten. But we're kind of zoomed out up here right now, and it's kind of like the paint. We haven't got there yet.
No big.
We're thinking about space more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you see.
And then, yeah, an idea of what that might look like inside. Okay, this is, you just came from kind of near the makerspace and you're looking back at the reference desk. So it just opened up quite a bit from the way it is today. These stacks are one lower. These are the same height. You've got some that are low and some that are my height, so we made them all the same. Again, this is large print and then AV behind it. The desk is pulled forward, and then the study rooms are right here.
Can you highlight the linear light?
What, this one?
Yeah. So currently you guys have 40 million of these big giant shovels.
Jeez.
That is exactly how we used to do it. Like
Yeah.
when this building was built, that's how we used to anyway, that's how we used to light up and get space light bounced down off ceilings, because you had to really pump it out because it was bulbs, it wasn't LED. So we can actually change those to be a single linear light that just, you won't even see it. We'll paint it the same color as the soffit, and it'll throw light all the way out to the peaks. And then the other lights can be, we don't have to rely so much on them to give out light. We can more rely on them to kind of add the light for that center space to make sure it's bright. But the ones along the edge will pump out enough light to light up the whole space.
Just the windows too, even though those are study rooms, it's all glass, and
Yeah.
it highlights that outside as well and brings it more in, which I don't think we're able to do very well right now.
Just so you know, lighting is a big concern.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
No, so what we do is we actually design all of our own lighting, not the fixtures, but how they're all laid out. And then we do a thing called light calcs. So we calculate every square inch that we're working on to 30 inches above the floor. And we make sure it's at or about 50-foot candles. So the lighting company that we work with, we take all of our fixtures, they put them in our 3D model, and they actually perform as if they're lighting the space. So we feel the same way. Like dark spaces are bad. And so we want to really make sure that everything, and spaces that are lit unevenly too, are really make your eyes very tired.
Yeah.
So we make sure that we have evenness and a high enough foot candle level that at that point you're not really paying attention to the lighting unless you're seeing it as an accent. So, and that's the way it should be in a library.
The lighting is just there.
The light is just there. It
Yeah.
feels right and even.
Yeah.
So that's what we'll strive for.
And we are
Some
including
sta-
in the price, in the cost estimate, every single light in this library is going to be replaced.
You're using wood on some stacks, but not on others.
So on the AV collection, it just
Oh,
started to
that's
get,
AV
yeah, it got really woody.
Okay.
It just
Yeah.
started to get heavy again.
Yes.
So we wanted to make sure, and again, we haven't really picked it yet. It just, when you looked at the image, it looked too heavy. So we lightened up the AV collection and then kept the fiction and nonfiction with the wood end panels.
Yeah, that's not the carpet we're going with.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, none of this is-
Chairs we're
Yeah.
going with.
No.
And you're
It's
keeping the
just
murals.
I don't
like
want
it.
to lay out space.
So we are looking at the mural on that side. We haven't decided on the one behind us yet. So we can look at that.
Okay.
Is there a sight line from the reference desk to the makerspace?
I'd say the circulation desk is probably closer to the maker, but there isn't
Yes.
because the
Well,
stacks are kind of
there'll
in the
be a
way.
staff person in the makerspace whenever it's in use.
Okay.
I mean,
It may be close, actually.
Yeah, where
Maybe I'm
it's
wrong.
allowed.
The corner.
Yeah, the corner.
Close.
You'll see if the makerspace is on fire. How about that?
You'll tell if the lights are on.
Yeah, right. There you go.
and they do have are able to see the teen space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is good.
And we did bring, in our last meeting, we talked about all the art and the stained glass and the murals, and we just tabled it
Okay.
because it started to snowball down and we got a little bit overwhelmed. But we haven't made it, there's 0 decisions made today.
Okay.
What's the, when you first enter the building and you're, heading and you see the art wall and you see the checkout desk, what type of flooring is that leading you forward?
We don't know yet.
Yeah. We're showing it as carpet, but we haven't decided on anything.
Yeah,
It is very echoey in there.
Yeah.
it is.
With so much hard surfaces, the walls and the ceilings and the floor are all hard surface, it just gets, it's hard to speak. You and I were talking, and I was like, everyone was looking at us. My voice tends to carry.
Okay, this is looking at the current makerspace, and that is what we're talking about for teen. We are looking at, if you'll notice, this is a small window here and the stained glass. We kept it this way and then we realized you really can't see in there very well. So we looked at changing that and then we'll move that to stained glass somewhere else so that you can see in there what's going on.
And I do think the existing door and the window above it are a good example of kind of the idea of how we did our windows and doors too. We just kind of kept what you had and kind of built on that.
And then these are the new study rooms. This is the teen collection, and then that's that seating area back here. Here's just teen fun. We just rendered something to show you kind of the quality of space. It'll be a hangout space.
Well, I think the nice part, something nice about enclosing teen a little bit is that you get to really switch the character. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to match the rest of the library when you kind of put it in its own space. And I think that tends to make them more successful, quite honestly, because typically we'll show them what we're doing. That when we're in design, we'll meet with the teens and give them the ability to kind of talk about what they like and don't like. And then also I think having them not have to sort of meld with the rest of it, it's kind of the in-between space. This is the space on the corner of this building. We think it's one of the more successful spaces in the library. Actually, it's always packed. People are always reading back in the corner. So we didn't do a ton of work back here, quite frankly. We just added new furniture, new lighting, opened it up, made it a little more brighter. But we thought this, again, we really thought that space back in that corner with the high windows and kind of the high ceiling, it did what it was supposed to do. It makes a really beautiful, quiet reading area. The library is still zoned more or less the way it is today, where you can kind of get back in the corner. And then the quiet room is really quiet. Like if people understand now that that's kind of the dedicated quiet space.
Okay, coming downstairs, this is an axometric area. Okay.
Are you gonna show us these booth things?
That's, she did, they were,
That's what they.
those
Oh,
tables.
but
Yeah,
I
these are
mean,
these couches. So the chairs and the booths, they just get really dark in the renderings because you're seeing the curve of the cushion. It's a problem with our models.
So once it comes time for actual furniture, we'll do a trip and sit test a bunch of stuff, and then talk about exactly what types of furnishings will be in each space, the flexibility of it, whether things need casters and need to be lighter, or some things are better for seniors to get in and out of, that kind of stuff. So that'll be a time where we go to the furniture showrooms and pick stuff out, sometimes send things to the library for people to test. And then after that, we choose fabrics. It's a whole process that comes later. Yeah.
Do we get to rent a bus and go with you?
Yeah, no, you do.
Yeah, we do.
Oh,
Yes.
we have great lunches. It's great.
Yeah.
By then you're like, I don't want to see a chair for 2 days.
Okay.
It's lots of fun.
All right. Here's your view down the stairs today. So just lots of stacks, and the desk is a little hard to see. And here's the new plan. So coming down, here's the desk, the new materials, and you see the activity area right in front of you. Kind of turning the corner, again, a lot of book stacks here. This would be the desk, again, the activity area here, and over here you're starting to see the program craft room on this side, and you're seeing through to the older kids back there. So you can see that you see all the seating areas when you come down.
I will say, working with Lisa, the main thing was having to see the stairs and having to see the back corner of the space. So I really felt like the plan was drawn with, we moved the desk up, we moved it back, we moved it up, we moved it back. And just making sure that we could see all the way through. And even if you can't see everything, it looks like you can. So it really is the ability to kind of make sure as people walk past the desk, they know that it's not a free-for-all in the back corner.
Looking at the existing program room and computer room, and this Find Out picture books here, and this is the new. So that is the fish tank, where we're proposing the fish tank. This is the program room, and this is the craft room. And you would make your way back here to get to that Friends. And then here's the fiction, nonfiction making its way back here, and we brought the computers out now into the open by the desk.
I really like that two-sided
Service desk?
service desk.
Yeah, that's nice.
Looking back at the stair, and then the new plan. So it's just opened up quite a bit. And again, you can see the elevator much better now.
Yeah, the elevator's kind of hidden right now, it's not really, it's a funny plan. There's lots of funny shapes downstairs. You see the plan, you're like, huh.
Will something happen at that landing where the fish tank was?
Yeah, we have, and just pure honest, we have not worked on that even one little bit, so we need, that's probably next steps, for sure.
Just your existing program room, and that would be, it will be brand new. So we'll have storage, it will have new lighting and new flooring. And so it's just kind of it would be a fun space.
Is that a new staff person?
Yeah. And then this is currently the seating for the kind of elementary school kids. Not much there. And this is how much space you have. It just shows you how much space you would have. Quite a lot of seating now by the windows and then the collection behind you.
And we have heard that the booth seating is super popular. Like, we all know booth seating is super popular with all the patrons. So we did put a long booth in the back, but we do know that the other niches we think want to be a little bit more intimate, so you can get maybe quiet down with a chair and a half with a dad and a kid or a mom and a kid, and they can kind of slow it down a little bit. So we haven't rendered those, but we were having lots of discussions about them in our last meeting.
And then this is your current space for the youngest kids. And this shows you how much bigger it is and that you can use the walls. And we talked about having some more kind of iconic pieces here. These are just placeholders. Something that kids will remember. And they'll cry when they leave.
Yeah, I think,
Here.
yeah, so the back patio, this is the idea of the back. So right now, so at first we thought the back patio was going to come really far out and be kind of ginormous, and we kind of figured out that we didn't need it to be that big. And that secondly, that walkway that people use to go across the back of the library was really important to keep intact. So we did end up kind of coming from this area to the sort of clunk over there where the bush is at. And then if the idea is to sort of enclose it with a fence and then create kind of a soft surface in there that we can use for reading and programming.
So this sidewalk right here would continue past, and then we would enclose behind it. We're just kind of showing you that you can.
Yeah, so that's the idea of kind of getting up next to the building and just having a really soft area. Again, be outside.
So like a playground surface?
Yeah,
Okay.
so it'd be like rubber flooring. It's just cute. Area for kids to play outside. We only have summer for so many months.
So that's what we have for you, and then we have the price.
I will see you guys later. That was great, yeah.
Peace out.
Yeah, out time.
Let's take that.
I'll just show them that.
Before we see the price,
I noticed that the plans aren't
just one other
in
question.
diligent. Will they be?
Having the large print right at the entrance like that is, does the collection
Can you ask them if they can get
usage
the PDF? Just,
justify
I think it would be good
featuring that
to be able to
space?
reference
Well, I
it
think
like
what
later.
makes sense,
Like the ribbon
especially
policies.
putting it there, especially for seniors who have vision issues.
Don't need that.
We're making it much easier for them to find the large print books. Right now, they're
Back in
in
the
the
day.
corner.
Yeah.
And if they're hard to find, if you don't know what they're looking for.
Yeah.
You can upload it to,
I can't look, I don't think so.
I'm asking,
I visited the
Guilford
Library,
Library,
and they have these
or online.
squiggly things on their windows because they had a problem with birds crashing into the windows.
We've seen that in libraries, we put film on before, sometimes it's just one large one, you know, large window, and then we're just put the stickers on it.
I'm trying to limit myself.
It's alarming.
I'm already past it.
And at Highland Park, they have it right where you want your quiet seating to be, and people would be sitting there watching it first.
I had two brownies and a piece of bread.
Maybe they do and she doesn't know about it.
No, for sure. I don't want to step.
Oh golly, do you guys say Visa?
Okay.
We actually
So,
do, yeah.
we worked with Shales McNutt, who is a construction manager who does a lot of libraries. They priced everything, and it came in higher than I think what you probably would want to do. So we pulled out some alternates that you could do over years and as individual standalone projects easily.
Yeah, I don't want to gloss over that, actually.
Yeah.
I think, so, like, projects, an example, like the bathrooms. It's a project that if you want to renovate the bathrooms downstairs, in 2 years, you could do that super easily without having to close down the building, you just close them off, use the one upstairs, use the family restroom, and then reopen them.
Yeah.
So we really try to look at things to get the most value we could for the construction. As much construction as we can do at one time is the best value that we give you guys. And then second is looking to, again, like Tiffany was saying, find projects that we can kind of attack one at a time in the following years, and no one would really notice the difference without it being brand new. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
A couple, I mean, I'm sure you've all gotten to the bottom line. We've worked with Shales McNutt on a lot of projects. That's why we use them to do our cost estimates. They, at this stage of the game, they have a lot of conservative factors in here to make sure you're safe with a budget at this point. So I'll just kind of highlight some of the larger items here.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
I'm being totally rude. The estimate is structured in a way that the top is construction. So this is the number that you would more or less get from a contractor during bids.
Okay.
The number, the clunk in the middle is project design contingency and construction contingencies. General conditions, asbestos, we have none, and then moving. So this is more or less all of the CM's fees and having them on site, and then your contingencies, and then a permit allowance. And the bottom is pre-construction, our fees, the furniture, fixtures, and equipment. Shales McNutt has added 3% for inflation. They've assumed that you would start construction in the fall, a year from now, more or less. So they've added 3%. And then they're listing insurance, but we just have to fill that in. So again, it's construction, kind of the cost of doing construction, and then the fees and furniture at the bottom.
And that, because you say the alternate, so that number at the bottom of the first column includes all of those?
Nope.
Or
So this one is,
none of
and then
them?
these are all ads.
Those are all ads?
They are.
Okay.
So what Shales McNutt always talks to us about is that, and this is tended to work out, but not gonna work, that you should be designing within, if you look at the construction contingency, the design contingency, perhaps even the inflation, take those numbers and kind of add that to your budget. We should be designing for that during schematic design, and then when you have more information, then they'll reprice it, and we can, we'll just have a better or more accurate estimate.
Well,
at
drawings.
that time.
Yeah, at this time we're
So
marking up the drawings.
we wouldn't like throw away all these things at this point that are to the right of that. But we just wanted to show you something that, you know, you could get everything you want as a phase one. And so I think an easier way to look at the alternates is with the plans that follow this.
So you
and then
have
if
the
you were
columns,
to-
but we have the plans. So Tiffany has color-coded plans that are really.
Yeah, they're in there.
We have-
Oh, they are?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Yep.
Oh, I see.
I didn't know that.
So
Sorry.
these are things we just pulled out again, thinking you could do them, but some of them we would love to do as part of this project if they fit into a budget after schematic design. So the partition in the meeting room could be replaced at any time, along with the AV. And then this whole, you really would want to do this whole reconfiguration together, adding the family restroom and reconfiguring the kitchen and storage, so the numbers are there. This area, we could leave this area as it is today and do the lighting and do the flooring and the paint, and then someday reconfigure it how we have it in this plan here. This likely would fit into your budget. It's not that much really in the scheme of things, but this would probably be one of the first ones to add back in. Along with this, these study rooms, just to reconfigure them, would be the 39. Again, in the base project, we have lighting and flooring so that if you had to wait 3 years, they're not going to look crazy compared to everything else. They'll have new lighting and flooring and paint. This one, we put the renovation of the large toilet rooms. Those have been coming in very expensive lately. Usually less than this. I said we've been conservative on this estimate, but that is obviously a standalone project. We do have the restrooms up here in the base project because we're making them a little smaller. So you would need to do it as part of this project to get that plan. Along with the staff restrooms, and then kind of this purple area is the minor changes that we're doing in the IT and down here. And again, if we need to do part of one and not the other, we could do that. And then the staff lounge, we do have flooring and we have paint, but it would be the millwork and the appliances, we just add on to the project. And then the patio is not in the base project, and that would be about $476. There's a couple of things that are in there that are not here. One is acoustical ceiling tile. That is here. So we have acoustical new ceiling tile in rooms that are being reconfigured, but this would be in addition to that to get it in all the public areas.
That's why we had a little asterisk when you asked earlier. We're like, you caught us. You looked up.
What I've been trained to do.
Yeah, I know. You can tell that people work on buildings, they walk around like this.
Yeah, we would like to get a tegular edge and
Yeah.
We're recovering architects.
Yeah.
What is that alternate tape furniture at?
so that we had replacing most of the staff furniture.
Okay.
And then the alternate would probably also include the lowering of the adult book stacks.
Okay.
But it includes like all the youth shelving that you would need to make the plan work. It includes all new patron seating, like every display shelving, all of that stuff.
And
Not
base-
in
The base, in the base, in the base,
base.
yeah.
So the alt would be okay.
Yeah.
And one good thing about furniture alternates too is that when construction comes in, if it's on budget, then we'll still have a construction contingency. Typically, it stays at about 10% in renovations because they're messy. Once we get through demo in your later phases and everything's going as planned, we could start to kind of chip away at that a little bit with using the the furniture alternate to pick up pieces that, and you guys will all be informed of that, the entire process. It just, the furniture, we can lag a little bit behind and let the construction kind of get itself through. And then again, if we have some savings and we have some contingency left in the construction,
Then we can say,
we can start to
this
chuck
is
it over
left
to,
over,
yes.
so let's do
Yes,
this.
but again, you'll know all about that the entire time of the project. I'm just letting you know there's some valves that allow you to get a little bit more value out of the project also.
And you said the adult shelving, if we change the height on that, it's in the alternate?
It's in the
Yeah,
alternate.
unless we choose something else, but
Yeah.
right now it's in that's where I had it.
And well, we were still going with the idea of just replacing the framing?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so we were hoping to reuse the shelving we currently have,
Okay.
but if we get new framing device, whatever, then we can lower it.
Okay. And then you would get.
And not have to buy all new shelving.
Yeah, got it. And we're
Because
doing
our
that.
ultimate goal is to open up,
Yeah.
the site and just not be so overpowered by the shelving.
Yeah, no, that one just was more generic than the other one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually the opposite. That one has a spreadsheet like this long to it. I know when you see it, no, it's very funny. Tiffany was like, should I?
Versus the
Yeah,
other.
no, Tiffany was like, should I include the spreadsheet? I'm like, oh my God. No, like,
So it's mostly staff
And
and then.
Yeah.
I would
Living
like to
spreadsheet.
just point out something, just because this helped me, I think, put things into perspective about a major renovation like this. So the Park District, as you know, just took over a building and renovated the interior. And it was about 11,000 square feet, I think we read in the article. And it was a $5 or $6 million project. We are 54,000 square feet. There's no way we could do a major renovation on that same budget.
No.
No way. Prices are just gone up and up and up, and
Yep.
I think, had this renovation been done 5-10 years ago, we might be looking at different numbers, but this is what the reality is now.
We can't look at 5 or 10 years.
We can't. We only have today.
Exactly.
Who needs tomorrow? I'm sorry.
Don't quit
And
your
that-
day job.
Is that, are those contingencies considering things like tariffs and things like that?
So we can't really control that, but we can
Yeah.
use those to offset that.
Okay.
So it is why we're including where's it at?
The design is, it's right there, it's the second one.
No, the 3%. So it is why, like,
Oh,
inflation,
because of inflation.
we haven't
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
included inflation, but we decided to keep it in there just to make, if tariffs start to go bananas, or if inflation keeps going up, then we just, again, what we're trying to do is give you the whole picture, all the construction hard and soft costs, so that you're not, we don't come back and tell you, oh, but our fees are on top of that, oh, but you don't have any furniture included. So it really was just knowing, like, historically looking back a year, tariffs haven't done a ton yet, but they're starting to take, they're starting to come into effect. So, I mean, to the best of our abilities, this is the soundest numbers that we have. That's not a great answer, but it's the
No, but
best I can give
it's
you.
a realistic answer.
Yeah.
And I think it would be an easy, I mean, I know we haven't really talked about how the size of the number or anything, but it would be very easy to say, we're gonna wait on the patio, it's a seasonal thing anyway, that's something we could do in a couple of years. The bathrooms, we could wait on those because they're very expensive. But the thing like the staff break room, it's not a huge amount of money, and I would really hope it could include something like that because it would mean so much to the staff.
And the meeting rooms.
I think
In other
they'd
words,
rather
keep-
have a really nice break room than unenjoyable.
And as Tiffany said earlier, our intent would be to keep designing with most of these things included in the project. And get this schematic design where we have more accurate drawings with the scope better defined. And that would help the construction manager, whoever you guys end up hiring, to really hone in on these numbers and get them to be a little more accurate. We can take some of that conservative slush out of it, which is exactly where we want to be right now. We don't know what the details are. We don't know where everything's at, so we need those type. We need to make sure that we're accounting for that, even though we don't have that written down anywhere on the drawing.
And in the base plan, there is a family bathroom in the lower level, which if we had to pick, if we could only have one family bathroom at this time, that's the place to have it. Ideally, we would have one on each floor, but at least we would have one in
And the space
in
would
family.
be, the space would be there so that if we decide to add the second one in 5 years or whatever.
If we had the second one, that's when we would redo the little kitchenette and the storage space.
And that's
And
exactly.
they've lined it all up here as a separate project.
And that's exactly why we drew everything, is so that we don't do a project and then have to redo it because we want to do the bathroom later. So I think the master plan, looking at the entire building holistically, makes sure that we stay out of our own way as we start to have separate phases of projects.
And speaking of the Callahan building, I know that the Batavia Historical Society contributed a significant amount towards that building. Is any type of private funding something that we'd be willing to consider? Like maybe that patio is sponsored by somebody and that way,
For the makerspace.
or yeah, I mean just,
Money available?
There is the Live and Learn grant, which is $125,000, and it's a matching grant, which obviously would be a match. And that's the only one I know for sure that is available through the state of Illinois. There's also, we could try contacting our congressman and try to get money that way. We could, I don't know if we want to do like a capital campaign project. I mean, I don't know.
We don't know what we don't know.
I haven't done any research yet about other grants that are available, or maybe I don't know the answer to that. The only one I know for sure is that construction grant. It's very competitive. But if we focus the grant on something that addresses accessibility for patrons, then
The door gets wider.
the door gets wider.
I just think that there's opportunities for some very specific items that people might want their name on it in order to get it. I mean, whether it's the makerspace and getting, a company to sponsor it, or Fermilab or something like that.
Space or something like Hanson Furnace Makerspace.
Yeah, something like that. It's something that we may wish to consider. I know that the school district did it with the football field and the park district did it with the new building. So our community has shown a record for coming together for something like that. So it's something we want to consider. obviously, we don't know what we're saying no to yet, but maybe if we say no because we don't have the money, the community might be like, hey, we can come up with the money. So, something to consider.
So all the extras are about 2.5 million then?
It's close to that, yeah. And I will say that we have had Don in our last 2 meetings when we started bringing budget numbers in, and he was very.
And he let you stay in the meeting?
He did. He was the calmest person in the meeting, I have to be honest.
But yeah, he was. He's always calm.
Yeah, he was
Talks
great.
numbers.
That's where the mind's
Kind of talked us
going.
all through it.
Is this the time where we turn to Don and say, how
Yeah.
much did we set aside for this project? Not,
I
not,
think there's
not,
going to be more discussion.
not 13.
Our capacity exceeds anyone's appetite
Oh. Wow.
easily.
Isn't that always the case?
Yeah.
No, it's usually the other way around.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
The other thing is that if we're gonna do a renovation, we wanna do it as best we can. And by taking these alternates out, we still, I mean, ideally, there's a few in there that I wish weren't alternates, that were part of the main plan. But we don't, whatever we end up doing, we want it to have a wow factor. I mean, an overall wow factor.
Otherwise, why are we doing this?
Exactly.
We've got to figure out how to afford it.
Well, that's what Don is saying, is that, and I don't know how much, if you want him to go into any of that right now, but he feels very strongly that we can afford it.
Can afford.
Well,
Can afford
more
what?
than what, even more than what's stated here, but not that we want to pay for it, but
So
yes.
your cost estimates, are there any contingencies on your cost estimate itself? So you've got
The design contingency is the unknown. So we have about 403,000 in there. That's just, we don't have any idea what that is.
Sure, so so this is pretty detailed cost estimate?
Yes.
Put together so far?
Yeah,
Okay.
so really
You're far enough
honestly-
along in design that you're able to do that level, okay.
And Tiffany's point at the beginning is Shales McNutt does all of our estimates, and they
Okay.
probably build half of our work.
Sure.
So they know the expectation of where we're gonna end up. They know we spend money on lighting. They know our level of quality, and they know that not to skimp in the estimate to make, because it's not gonna work for our clients.
Gotcha.
So we only use them because we can trust it.
Okay.
And it's worked out for us today.
We gave them like preliminary pricing drawings, and then we gave them the renderings.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Alex Todd referenced them, saying they used them as well.
Yeah.
And they came in under
budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They even have a bigger presence in K-12. They pretty much own the northern part of the state.
They're great. They're a great company.
They're great people
Yeah.
and do very good work.
Yeah. I always hate when I'm low bid, so. Okay.
So we're gonna need to hear from Don about.
No, understood. I
the
think
money
you guys
thing.
have lots of time.
But, you know, what are our next steps, or?
So if my understanding is right, we're going to continue working on the drawings and the project while you guys kind of meet together, and then we're going to reconvene. Is it November, Joe? Is that right?
Yeah.
So we're going to reconvene in November, and at that point, I believe you guys will kind of tell us what the project budget is. We'll give you updates on where the design's at, and then we're kind of meeting in the middle, and then we'll, start to work towards finishing up the drawings. So I think in the next couple months, you guys are going to have meetings with Don.
I didn't think we would be able to do it until November, because I know you're gonna be out of town for part of October, and if the board wants to have time to discuss, and, then,
We'll be on the town in October as well.
right, and so therefore, I thought we should push it to November.
Yeah.
So
And the things
I'm hoping everyone will be
Yeah,
here.
I'm being honest, right.
So,
The things we're going to work on too are things that would be in the project regardless. Even if you reduce the scale of the project, and it's things that we need to do. Just, we can keep the project moving, but it won't be things that we have to backtrack on.
Now, Don is gonna be on vacation in the beginning of November, but we were gonna have,
Well planned, yes, but yeah, I need to do, I haven't really been involved in the process here, so I need to do a fairly deep dive into the financials and some of the cost estimates and that, and also work with Kathy, our facilities guy, on integrating, make sure we fully integrate the BTC capital asset plan. And then based on that, then I plan to be working with Andrew Kim at PMA.
He presented to you.
And
Yes.
do a refresh on that intermediate and long-term financial plan based upon how that would look with this. You know, in terms of just easy numbers, if you want to think of, say, about $275K for $3.5 million. So you're looking, in that case, like $7,550,000, which probably still leaves about a $700,000 surplus every year. And that's abating your bond and interest levy, and nothing to the taxpayer, just paying it out of our straight current operating revenues.
So we'd float some bonds to cover the project, and then but we have the funds to be able to make that payment.
Yes.
Is what you're
Out of our
saying. So we're not gonna finance it all up front. We're gonna do some bonds.
We would have to do a bond,
Okay.
but it would not impact taxpayers.
Right. Our residents wouldn't have to pay any more.
Whatsoever.
We can cover it out of our operating revenue.
Our current surplus.
And we would still have a significant surplus. It would probably still be greater than, about 50% of what it is currently.
Okay.
Which is still significant, which
we
you
can
know,
put
hopefully
towards
then-
those capital improvement projects that Alex was mentioning.
address that.
Some of the other projects.
It's just,
Okay.
I believe in a very strong view on both long-term and short-term. Because if you aren't watching the short-term, all of a sudden it's like the Thelma and Louise movie. You've gone off the cliff, and it's by the time you realize that it's too late. And Andrew can mention that with one of the North Shore libraries experienced that.
Well, the cost for doing our project, there's certainly some economy of scale. Adding these projects individually, I know he's got these priced out at 2.5 each, but if you did them all together, you know, maybe it would come in a little bit cheaper if you did it as one big project.
That's
So,
totally
you know, but
Mobilize the
yeah, right. Yeah. Your contractor's already got his bonds and insurance. He's
Well,
got.
and even.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Yes, the economy, and that's exactly what we would do at schematic design.
Okay.
So this is pre-schematic, as soon as we got through schematic, we had drawings. Our schematic design drawings are kind of well ahead. We really like to make them advanced so that we get better pricing, and that we can kind of define anything at that time.
Okay.
So again, our plan is to keep going with this, but it's up to you guys to give us direction.
So, Joe, let me put you on the spot. Somebody said everybody is in agreement with the plan. So I find that hard.
Everyone,
Yeah.
this is,
So
we have a
obviously you've
group
had a
of-
lot of discussions.
we have a group of staff
Yeah.
that meet with Tiffany and Dan when they come here. And
Sure.
It's Kathy, Liesel, and Megan.
Right.
Because, you know,
Right.
it's the majority of the public space is theirs, and then Kathy's facilities, and myself. And we bring Don in once in a while to talk money.
Okay. So have the rest of the staff seen this plan in general?
We didn't share it with them at staff
We did not.
day. We have not shared it with them.
So how much have the rank and file, how much input have they had so far?
Well, I would say they haven't had any input directly to this.
Okay,
They have had input based on their feedback from visiting other libraries.
okay,
What they liked, what they didn't like. But I also think that these two ladies talk with their staff, and so they're representing their department
sure.
and their ideas. We're not going to get buy-in from everybody.
No, you're not, and that was kind of my point is,
Okay.
are there any major objections from staff that have said, in general, I like this, but I hate this? Is there, and I imagine if there was one thing everybody hated, you all would have addressed it at this point. But are there some outstanding things that you guys are like, this isn't what I want, but it's going to be okay? Or are you all, and are you getting feedback?
With the alternatives or without?
Well, consider with the alternatives, like the whole project, all the things that have been identified as the improvements we want to make inside the building to make it better for staff and better for the community, so.
What I really liked at our staff development day was hearing all of the direct staff feedback about what they loved at other libraries was really lining up with a lot of what is in
Okay.
Our goals are.
and what we've been talking through. I think also Joe's done a great job over the last few years, and we've all tried to carry that through too, of talking about this project and what our big goals were before we even got to the architect phase. So while there might be things along the way that not everyone agrees on, I do think for the most part, most of our staff is aligned in the big picture ideas and a lot of what's in these plans.
Because I think visiting those libraries, they were able to, I mean, some of our staff, and myself included, we don't go to other libraries unless, you know.
Regular basis.
Yeah, because we work here, this is our library.
Right.
And I think it opened the door to possibility.
Gotcha.
And even libraries half our size were doing some amazing things with their space. And I think it really opened their minds to possibility of what we could do here. And I think these designs are, you know, really moving us in that direction as well.
So, without putting words in your mouth, is it safe to say then that the staff would agree in general with the components of the plan, how all the puzzle pieces fit together? They might arrange them slightly differently, but the major pieces are there. So adding the larger makerspace or the teen space and setting that off, and it might be, I'd rather it be on the south side instead of the north side, or things, you know, so it's minor pieces, but you think in general the large components are there? Okay.
Yeah, I do, and I'm sure you have too, I've had conversations with like the staff that is most heavily involved in makerspace. Like I've talked even more in depth with them as we were planning things, and the teen space with the teen library. So there's also other staff, I know like Sherry talked to Joe about different circulation needs. So there's other staff that I think is even more directly involved than, you know, speaking to Tiffany and Dan, but it really is reflective of things that have been in many conversations with the bulk of the staff.
We looked at some earlier drawings at Management 18, didn't we? Yeah, to give an idea. But we didn't want to share anything with all of the staff yet because, first of all, I don't want them to get all excited about something that isn't a done deal. And I think that's what would happen.
Sure.
So I'd rather present them with plans that we know we're going to do.
That are feasible.
That are feasible and that, you know, we're not even at the fun stage yet where we're picking colors and we're picking furniture and all that stuff. But I think it would be a morale killer to say, look at what we're thinking about doing, and then we have to scale it back to half.
Sure.
Yep.
And Andrew, to your point, I've had a lot of discussions with my staff, and I know they've got some copious notes even from before I came of what they would love to see, what's working, what's not working, and throughout this process, I've been chatting with them. I talked to them about Staff Development Day. They were just so excited. I think we couldn't get some of the youth services staff to stop talking at Staff Development Day about the things that they saw, and you know, making our dramatic play space area so much bigger. I get all the time like patrons love it, but it's so cramped, and you know, people are tripping over each other and there's just no room, and then we get a surprise class visit that we weren't anticipating, and where are they gonna go? And with these types of plans, there's just so much better use of space. It's so dark. People don't know they're in the children's area. I can't tell you how many adults wander down there. I don't know how they miss the first floor when they come in. They turn left, they come down, and then they just look so lost. And they're like, well, where are the grown-up books? Like, why are there all these kids down here? Like, you're in the youth services department. So, yeah, I appreciate you asking, though.
One of the comments I think I heard the first time when we started doing some conceptual designs, 7, 8, 9, whatever that was years ago, was there was something in the plan that everybody hated.
Yeah.
And I want to avoid that this time.
And that's what Alex said too. I mean, he was talking more about the public. There's
Right.
always.
No, but
Oh,
the
no.
staff, it was
Yeah.
like, oh, it was the
a
trade-off.
plan- It was a
With-
plan came
too.
together that no one
No one
was completely happy with.
Yeah, and it was everybody,
And you're right.
right,
Something that made everybody unhappy.
right.
Oh, you mean the original plans?
That-
Oh,
That was?
yeah, okay, I see what you're
It was the admin office downstairs.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, they were gonna turn into.
I remember that
yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just,
Well, just
and-
other.
but just the layouts and some of the trade-offs, and everybody was like, this is, I wouldn't have traded this for that. So the process, the way it worked, it sounds better this time. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Obviously, you know, having a building that the community loves is important, but taking care of the staff, who is the personality and, you know, everything really behind whether a patron has a good or bad experience here. You know, we don't really have a staff place here now where we congregate or can hang out. We have a staff room downstairs, but, you know, if that's an alternate, you you know, listening to Alex Todd, if we want to make, you know, the staff happy, we'd love to have a really nice break room to go to. And a wellness room, oh my gosh, that's like even, you know, beyond.
Now we're getting crazy.
So, I just really appreciate, you know, the fact that we're talking about it and you're thinking about the staff because we live here.
Yeah, you do.
And I feel like that's what happened with the budget for the original building, was that when it came down to it, the staff space was what was cut versus the public space. And so,
And we have, our adult and teen services staff, they are crammed like sardines in their
Yeah.
office. And it's an improvement of what they had before. And
Yeah.
it's still not.
I
Yeah.
think they don't
Acceptable.
have desks. There's folding tables that they're on.
Yeah.
So it's things like that where like, I think little things would go a long way and having some storage for staff to be able to keep improving programs and have supplies on hand and, you know, so that, I think a lot of these things will excite them. I think most of the staff would be happy with, you know, however much of this plan we're able to do. I think it's things they're excited about.
I think,
Yeah.
you know, we haven't done any major changes to the building since it was built. And so you get used to it. It
What you
becomes
got.
familiar. It becomes comfortable. And this will be a big change. And I think some people have a hard time with change, even no matter how positive it is.
Sure.
But I do think that ultimately it will be an exciting and an exhilarating change that will recharge people, both the staff and the public alike.
Yeah. And we're in a much better position than we were 7 to 10 years ago financially.
Yeah.
And just to be able to make these changes. So we've been able to save a lot of money.
And I really think that libraries are a reflection of a community, and this would be such a lovely reflection of our community to be able to update our building.
Yeah.
And just another variation of what you said, we want more people to come in, and that was a very exciting
There's room for them now,
renovation.
yeah.
Wow.
So similar to what Andrew was asking, knowing that a lot of these alternatives were probably pulled up just because they were easy to pull out construction-wise, would it be advantageous for the staff to prioritize them for us? I mean, because they may be happy with the overall design, but if X, Y, and Z doesn't happen, it may be catastrophic for some of the staff.
Well, I think we can tell you right now what, like, the staff lounge would be catastrophic.
Well, right, I mean, so like, yeah, they are listed as alternatives, but are they really alternatives? So maybe, can we get an idea of what really is on the table?
My thought is, the patio would be lovely, but it could be tabled, because it's a seasonal, it's not an all year round thing. I don't remember, I would love to see the admin reconfiguration, it's less than 100,000, but that's like tier 2. And then, but tier 1 would be the staff lounge, what's this, meeting,
That's the
I
main
think the
meeting.
AV and the meeting
The
room.
AV
The
meeting room,
AV and the meeting room.
You said that.
Those are definitely tier 1 for me.
And I wasn't saying that you have to
And the
answer,
study room
answer right now,
reconfiguration, I think, would be tier 1.
but I just think that that would be good information just to have from staff, just so that they,
Yeah.
Even if it's just
It's
simple
the
like that
problem
tier
of
1
if
and
we
tier 2.
ask them to rate what the importance is,
Yeah.
and then we're like, well, sorry, but then we
Yeah,
do something, I
right.
mean, it's like you give them a voice, but then you take it away. And a lot of it is going to depend on, you know, doing the bathrooms later, that's $1 million to redo those bathrooms. So, do we really think it would make everyone happy if we did it?
It's for the
Yes.
lower level.
But
million
we
each.
could postpone it for
We've had
another
two-
year.
We've had 2 projects come in, one was about 400, one was about 300. So we feel like that's a bit heavy,
Okay.
486.
I totally.
No, it's okay, don't worry about it.
No, and that's, but you're right, the staff have to be added on, so you are right.
I'm talking about the 2 staff bathrooms.
Yeah.
And the,
And then the lower level.
and the configuration for
Oh,
those
the
are changing, right?
7 and 8.
Oh, the-
Yeah.
Okay, it's the 2 step, right? So it's
But we are
360.
changing the fixtures, we've changed the fixtures out.
Oh, right, but the
Yeah.
configuration's not changing, you're just changing,
Yeah.
replacing.
And that's, we
everything.
just finished those at Tinley Park. And Tinley Park, I think, was a similar configuration downstairs, it was 383. So we're a bit over that,
Those
but
bids came in 2 years ago.
yeah, that was 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
But again, we're gonna keep going
Yeah.
and let you know what those cost. You know, just get the, if you want us to keep going, like, I guess the idea would be if you wanted to throw any of these out and say, we don't need any of these, this is not important to us at all, we would just let those go and continue on. But if you want us to get these through schematic design, absolutely, that's what we're here for.
And if we decide to pass on like the bathrooms, could we go in there and just replace floorings and partitions?
Yeah, I mean, you could give us that direction too.
Okay.
I mean, it hasn't been that long since we did that. Although that brings up a question. I noticed you put doors on the bathrooms up there.
Oh, yes, yeah.
So we took those off, right? Didn't we have doors on those and we took them off? The bathrooms up here?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
ever
Okay.
seen door.
I
They're
believe,
designed to kind of come in and have
Yeah.
some privacy.
are there, I don't think we wanted to put doors on. I think we wanted to leave those open for safety's sake. So are there any concerns?
Typically,
with
we
that?
do these now,
Most bathrooms at public buildings have a door.
keep standing behind
I
you.
think our problems
No, it's my fault, I keep standing behind you. No, I feel like I'm like over the top. It's so absurd.
She's like
I just can't stand
And
still.
we're
Joe's
moving the
like,
circ desk closer to those
So that they're both
bathrooms, so
sides.
I just feel doors are important.
Oh, yeah.
And most libraries, we now have the automatic operators, so if somebody needs, help getting in or mobility issues, they can just wave.
That
right.
wasn't the issue. It was if something happens in the restroom, the door's closed. It was
Okay.
more of a safety of the patrons.
I don't,
That was the argument for not having
oh,
doors, as I
I'm not
recall.
sure, I feel that would be something we don't need to worry. I mean, those things are gonna happen whether you have a door or not.
Well, it just makes it less likely.
But it doesn't. We've
Okay.
had so many issues with our public bathrooms.
We were
Okay.
here.
Yeah.
Okay.
huh?
We were here for one.
Yeah. So I don't think a door is gonna make a difference because people don't seem to care.
Okay. I mean, you guys are the pros, so I don't, yeah.
We originally thought about putting the doors back on the bathrooms and removing that wall. And that's why we think, well, we should have a door for sure. But now the wall, if the wall is still there, I don't know. But I do think we want doors on those.
It'll be nicer for the people at the circ desk.
Yeah.
Yes.
Toilets flushing.
Add that to the list or something.
That is why they went with the paper
Staff
towel.
Doors in the
bathrooms.
Oh, yeah, right.
Because of the noise and the way it
I
echoes in
totally
that space.
understand that.
We're getting a little slap happy here.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so, again, if you guys have any questions at all, please just let us know. And we're always available. And we're
We'll
still
make-
meeting every 2 weeks.
One aesthetic comment is I'd like to see the mural stay.
Okay.
It's not my decision, it's our decision, but I would like to see the mural stay.
And just a comment about sustainability, like with the HVAC, you would look for the most efficient
Sure.
system you can.
Yes, sir. The building controls will help you with that a lot, actually. No, it will, the building, no,
I know.
it's just, right now you have things that are beating each other up. They don't know, the one doesn't know what the other one's doing.
Will HVAC and lighting be automated so that,
Yes, yes.
depending on if it's cloudy outside or
Yep.
time of day?
No, absolutely, that'll be code compliant, but we also give you the ability to address your lighting in the same backnet.
We can address
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Well, right now it's like this.
And there is discussion about those wow things in the
Yeah.
kids area.
Yep.
That will pull people in.
I think the whole thing is gonna be a wow,
Mm.
because it'll be such a
Dramatic change.
Yeah.
The visual coming in is good.
But we do want those other, those like.
We have those covered in the
"Ooh,
budget, for sure.
Look at how cool that is.
It's gonna be amazing, because I think it's gonna open it up so much.
Yeah. There was I don't know if I told you this already, but which library was it? Carroll Stream. I'm in love with this waterfall. They had a waterfall on the wall.
We just heard they suck. Sorry, we just heard they're problematic.
No, that was outside. That was his fountain
This was an
outside.
indoor, encasing glass. It was a waterfall. It was in this, like, it would have been like equivalent to, like over here, where it's not the quiet reading room, but
It makes
people are
white noise,
hanging out,
yeah.
and it was like,
Zen?
it was very zen. I was so jealous.
It needs to go near the wall of this room.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, you can do it on the wall inside the bathroom. Man. It would echo in
It was,
I can need that wall that's on the foyer.
And, you know, I think a lot of us, when we visited libraries, saw a lot of outdoor space used. It's a real neat thing with libraries. And,
How do you address, like, so if those are emergency exits and they get you outside and you're in a fenced-in area, then do you do emergency exits out there too, and those are?
That's what we did at Carroll
alarmed?
Street, yeah. And it's funny because someone can use that to get in, but they're getting into nowhere. You know what I mean? Like
the
it's-
building.
Oh, because
Yeah, the building's so
doors,
close.
because those, the
Yeah,
doors.
and they're
in the building are
alarmed,
normally
and, you know,
locked.
we just, yeah, that's how we did it
Okay.
at Carroll Street.
So that's, well, okay, we can talk about that.
Yeah, it's a hardware problem.
Yeah,
What'd you say?
That's Wade.
yeah, we'll talk about that later, sorry.
No, please, it's,
You're talking about the ultimate that we're probably not gonna do.
it's actually seeing the issues.
We'll do fire pits and. That's the core.
Yeah.
Massage chairs in the morning.
Any other questions that trustees want to ask? And just as a quick check on agreement, are we agreed to be going forward?
Great.
Understanding that we have financial information coming in November.
So you're going forward with, you're not approving anything tonight?
Right.
No. But,
We can't, can we?
No,
No.
There's nothing to approve.
Right, yeah.
well,
except for,
you're approving the budget for the
Well, that
project.
happened a while ago, though, didn't
No, this is,
it? I mean, right now, we're not approving anything.
we're not voting.
well, that's what you ultimately need to do, is they need to vote to approve the proposed.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, no, I'm just saying that when he
yeah.
says we're moving ahead, it doesn't mean that you've already accepted that this is what you've agreed.
right.
Financially. That's what.
We don't think you're off course.
There you go,
Yes.
that's,
All right. Then, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you
Really
so much.
interesting.
It's been a blast, actually. It's been super fun.
Number 8, upcoming meetings, Committee of the Whole on Wednesday on October 9th, and the regular board meeting on October 21st.
not a Wednesday though, right?
No, I don't know why I said Wednesday.
Probably because the W program.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
So number 9 is adjournment. I'll make the motion to adjourn with thanks for everyone going through a long evening, and we need a second.
Second.
A motion by trustee Russo and a second by trustee Fasano. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?